Igbo people will make no apologies for going to war with Nigeria. Onyeka Onwenu. Nigeria's lady of songs, activist, journalist Onyeka Onwenu has said the Igbo people will make no apologies for going to war with Nigeria. As according to her, the Biafra was a war brought on them and they had to fight in self-defense. Onwenu, who spoke on Monday in Lagos at the Never Again conference organized by Nzuka Umunna, an Igbo socio-cultural group, to mark 50 years since the end of the Biafra War in 1970. Also recall how a widowed mother's property was seized in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, after the war. She said the Biafra is very sensitive and painful matter that ought to be addressed. This is a subject matter that is very close to our hearts, she said. It's very personal to very many of us. Very sensitive matter, very painful matter indeed. And yes, some of us have lived with some bitterness, and we make no apologies about that. We were people in war, led into war, not by our own wishes or design, but in self-defense. No apologies, Nigeria. No apologies to the world. Onyeka Onwenu said she fought the Biafra War and recalled many Nigerian children and aged people dying in her care. She regretted that the war has not yet ended and warned those still fighting the Igbo to be careful. I fought the war as a young girl between 14 and 17 years, and I lost many relatives. I carried babies who died in my hands. I treated old people who took days to die. People were dying of hunger. Even our soldiers were dying out of hunger, but thank God we survived. When my father died at 40, he was a politician and also a principal, but he did not have much money in those days. You had to keep your day job even if you are a member of the House of Representatives, she said. Yes, my mother, an Anambra woman, was a trader. She was richer than my father, so my dad would borrow money from her to pay land, and he never paid back. You know how it is with husband and wife. At the end of the war, I could not go back to Port Harcourt. My home was abandoned property. Those of you who came from Port Harcourt know the story. The home that a widow my father had only laid the foundation when he died in an accident. The building that a widow built was seized as an abandoned property. And leaving just not that to us, on Hospital Road were the Ikeus. In fact, I thought we were related because every family in Port Harcourt was together. You did not care where anyone came from or who they were, whether you were from Port Harcourt or not. Every parent had the right to remind a child he or she saw misbehaving. But Port Harcourt was a beautiful town, but we could not go back to it. So for me, the Civil War never ended. It is still going on. My poor mother went back to Port Harcourt to claim her property, and she was beaten into a coma by people whom she had helped all her life. People she had helped to send to school because she is an Igbo woman, and now Port Harcourt belonged to another group of people. They fought the sacrifice that the Igbo made. It is still going on. No apologies have ever been made about that. The road that is now referred to as Herod Wixon Road used to be Deacon Onwenu Road. That is an account of the sacrifice that the Onwenus, the Ikodos, and the rest made in building up Port Harcourt. Here I am. I traveled outside thanks to my sister who was at Evers at the time, but we all came back to develop Nigeria. I have tried with the little talent that God has given to me to use it to the betterment of my society and my country. But if I were a Yoruba or an Hausa woman, I would have probably have had more patronage, more help, more support than I have got by myself. Efforts to raise this country up. But I am not asking anybody for anything. I put myself through school. My widowed mother did her best. I was working 2 jobs in America to put myself through school. I did not want to take the Nigerian scholarship because they were given to everybody, those who deserved it and those who did not, and many of them were not even in school. I am angry at Nigeria. I am angry at this government, which seems to be letting us down. I am angry at us as people. I am angry at my people, Ndi Igbo, because he who is rejected did not reject himself. Stop complaining and do it yourself. We have always been able to do that. How did we build Imo Airport? Nobody built it for us. We spent many years raising money. I was traveling all over the country to do free concerts, to raise money for Imo Port Harcourt. That is who we have been. I remember that in those days, if the Igbo State Union decide that that is it, everybody follows the line and get it done. Yeah, that is Onyeka Onwenu speaking. She said that the Igbo people will make no apologies for going to war with Nigeria. What's your take on this? Please kindly leave your comment in the comment box below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you have not. Please, I would love you to press the red button and also press the bell icon for an update of any published news. Thank you very much for always. Bye. Bye.